Do.
You're listening to the Podcast Detroit Network. Visit www.podcastdetroit.com for more information.
This episode of Breaking Down the Ring is brought to you by Chawla Legal Group Estate Planning. Estate planning is for everyone. Whether you're worth $4,000 or $40 million, estate planning can help protect you, your family, and your assets while you're alive and well. To register for an upcoming workshop today, go to chawlalegal.com/workshops or call 586-273-7157. Again, that's chawlalegal.com/workshops or call 586-273-7157.
What the Rock is cooking.
We have so much shit to talk about this week. WWE TLC's pay-per-view happened, and man, that ended horribly. And then the weekend wrestling happened. We got a brand new champion on NXT. NXT destroying AEW in the ratings. But really, we want to talk about what we're hoping we see in the future in 2020 for all of our favorite wrestling promotions. WWE, AEW, NWA, Impact. Yes, we want to get into all of that and more this week as we
break the ring down.
What? Woo! Oh, I am. No, I'm not. I really kind of lost my voice yesterday.
You don't know what hard times are, Daddy.
No, I didn't.
The cream rise to the top. Oh, yeah. Austin 316.
Yes, I will take something.
Whipped your ass.
Preferably Coca-Cola or Mountain Dew. I don't remember what I did. Tony Slavin says he loves you.
This right here is a fan rating.
Hey, this is professional wrestler and professional podcaster Colt Boom Boom Cabana.
My name is Killer Cross.
This is The Smoke Show, Scarlett Bordeaux.
What's up, guys? The F Machine Brian Cage.
This is Ryan from Pro Wrestling Tees.
Sadly, you are not listening to The Art of Wrestling, but you made a decent choice because you're listening.
You are now listening to...
When you're listening...
And you're listening to...
You listen to Breaking Down the Ring.
Breaking Down the Ring.
Breaking Down the Ring.
Breaking Down the Ring.
Breaking Down the Ring. Break it down.
Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to the most inappropriate pro wrestling show in the motherfucking world. You're listening to Breaking Down the Ring. We are your ring crew.
I'm Smitty.
Gimpy the reject reindeer.
Had a very shiny Nick.
And the whole fucking Joe.
I don't believe you. You're way taller and have way more hair. And me, the almighty one, Mikey himself. That is how you kick off a show. Ending 2020 with all of us here.
Into 2019, you mean?
Going into 2020 with all of us here. Because this is our final show of 2019. We're going to take the week off next week. All the other shows have been taped for Raw and SmackDown and things like that. AEW's not even doing the show. You know what? We're going to take a week off. We're going to finish off 2019 with a fucking vacation. So what you can do is you can get your last-minute Christmas shopping in by going to www.breakingdownthering.com, clicking the official merchandise, and you can go ahead and get yourself one of our Breaking Down the Ring hoodies or shirts. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. I've missed some time. It's football, so 2020 is going strong with Mikey, the almighty one, Mikey himself, and hopefully all of you, especially Nick. Nick, you've been really slacking lately.
Thanks.
Well,
yeah. Do what I can.
So we had our final viewing event of 2019 at Buffalo Wild Wings in downtown Detroit, where we watched WWE's final offering and the pay-per-view nexus that they have, TLC. We'll be
Time lost completely.
We very much talk. No, see, that's not fair to that pay-per-view. That pay-per-view started off really great. And it had a lot of good things to kick off
At this point, I don't even remember how the pay-per-view started off.
It started off with with the tags and everything. Like an Aleister Black and Buddy Murphy was
great match.
was the apex of that show because everything fell off after that.
I retract my statement because of that. I did enjoy that match.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Everything leading up to that was good or decent.
Right, nothing that we were like, oh, this sucks. But we've always said any WWE pay-per-view of 2019, the Sunday ones, the pay-per-views, not the network specials like the Saudi Arabia stuff, the pay-per-views, the ones that you could buy and watch at home if you don't have the network because you're dumb. They were good. None of them were amazing, spectacular, or I mean, I think we had some decent ones with Survivor Series was really good, but nothing that you were like, man, that sucked. Coming out of TLC, that last half of that pay-per-view was so bad, it was not even a good show anymore.
And it ended at like 10:05.
It was
it started at like 6 or 7,
and it did not. I don't believe it ended at 10:05. I know the clock said 10:05. I still think TLC is going on right now.
Yeah, no, I understand that because that last with the women's match and there was a match before that just seemed to drag on. Like it wasn't a very long match at all.
The Bray Wyatt men's match.
That may have been it. There was there was another one where it wasn't a match of much significance, but it just seemed like it.
Lana or Rusev and fucking Bobby Lashley.
That might have been it.
The Corbin Reigns match.
Okay, so 4 in a row that all just dragged on. Okay,
right,
which is the second half of this pay-per-view.
So, okay, but that's the thing is like technically the fucking Aleister Buddy Murphy was your second match. You had the SmackDown New Day versus Revival ladder match. It was a good match.
Yep.
Really good match to kick off with. Aleister Black versus defeating Buddy Murphy. Really fucking good match. Then the ending to the Raw tag team match, ending in a double count out, seemed off. But you were like, okay, I can understand it because at least this will keep this program going to most likely Royal Rumble.
It seemed off, and it made me really mad because I was like thinking, who could the random tag team be? And I was like, and I'm thinking of tag teams from Raw, and I'm like, no. I'm like, maybe they'll bring back the Usos. Like that'll be their spot to come back. And I didn't even think about the club.
That was the only people that made sense in my mind.
Well, had I thought about them, they would have been the only people that made sense, but they didn't even cross my mind. So I'm like sitting there trying to pick out some shit from my ass on the scorecard.
I really thought it was going to be AOP. Because the way they were pushing
I didn't even
them
think of that.
The way they're pushing,
first,
the way they're pushing them with Seth right now, and especially with the actual connection of them, I could totally see that. It's a heel team. It's a really good heel team, and you could technically have made it believable that they're going to beat the Viking Raiders. The club. I was just like, yeah, but they're not really. Like they won. They were the only tag team to beat.
Their club's got something to prove.
Yeah, but they've also lost to the Viking Raiders too. Granted, everyone has, but it's not like we're the only team that beat you. You never beat us. No, I think it was 1-1 at that point going into the pay-per-view. Raw made it weird, all right, but again, it was a good match with a okay ending. Like you weren't upset. You weren't pissed off that it ended that way, but you weren't happy with the double count out, right? You wanted to see a finish to that somehow, some way.
It was a KFC commercial.
Then Corbin versus Reigns in that TLC match. And that was just
for starters, it's a TLC match, so it's supposed to end with somebody climbing a ladder and grabbing something.
That was my impression. Yeah.
No, but they've done it over the past couple of years. They're like, it's a TLC match, but no, really, it's a TC match because.
Right.
No, you don't pull out a ladder unless you need a ladder.
It's a no DQ match.
Yeah.
It's an Extreme Rules match. It's a there's no disqualifications in it. It's no hold.
So why don't they just call it an Extreme Rules match?
Because that's not the pay-per-view.
Yeah. Like even in NXT, when they did the ladder match to see what team was going in first, there was something above that you had to climb and catch.
Yeah, the briefcase. Yeah. Some type of object.
Had a fucking can of dog food.
I mean, it could have been Corbin's scepter.
Match.
Right.
And then you don't even win the match, but the scepter's up there. If you get up there, you can use it in the match. Just like
stop.
the video.
No.
I'm just saying you could have done some shit with it, and they didn't. They're just it's a TLC match, but really it's just a dressed up fucking no DQ match.
Then you had the Universal Champion Bray Wyatt, not the Fiend, taking on The Miz in a match that was not for the Blue Universal Championship.
But they still raised it like it was.
Oh, the ref fucked up. The ref went over to the Miz like
they
it
didn't
was.
Raise it. They didn't raise it. He showed it to the Miz as if Miz was like, "Hey, see this? This is the match. This is what the title is looking like." And Miz was like, "Yeah, but I'm not fighting for it. So get the fuck away from me."
Yep.
It was so weird because they were never really fully.
I never realized that match wasn't for the title.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, you did not know that match was unless you like read everything. Because I was even talking with Daniel from Pro Wrestling Scorecards. I was like, "Isn't that one for the title match?" And he goes, "No, it's not. There is nothing that reads off in anything that it is for the Universal Championship."
Now, just thinking here, that is kind of the only way to kind of put a swerve into it, because if you don't put the title on the line and he doesn't come out as a Fiend, you're thinking, oh, well, Miz is going to go over in this one, right? Like, you know, like, oh, it's not his main character and this. Like, well, Miz is going over.
That's why I picked him, actually.
Even though I knew he wasn't going to go over, because that would just hurt the character in general going forward. But by making it a non-title match, it's like, okay, well, normally champions lose in non-title matches, so maybe there's a chance.
I didn't think it would have hurt Wyatt, because like if they pulled in the whole dual personality, and what I read was a non-title match. So I picked the Miz to go over in the non-title match against Bray Wyatt. The Fiend to be the indestructible thing, and then possibly you could actually beat Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, but if you have the Wyatt Rogers character lose right now, instead of like, you know, down the road to maybe like a more beefy opponent, the Mr. Rogers character can lose. But right now, it would just hurt the character because it's like so new, and this is his first time wrestling as, you know, Mr. Rogers. So,
and they're obviously doing a great job at keeping those characters separate, because he didn't even come out to the Fiend music. He came out to the Firefly Funhouse.
Well, the rumor is that we're gonna have a Fiend versus Bray Wyatt match, where obviously Bray Wyatt playing Bray Wyatt, but someone similar in statue with
So fake Undertaker 2.0.
No, that's what they're talking about doing. Fake, but it'd be easier to do because of Wyatt's mask. They just have to find someone about his size and give him like dreads.
Nope, don't want to see that.
I
don't like it.
No.
Nope.
No, sir.
No, because I'm sorry, it's not the person. You know it's not the person. There's no way to suspend that disbelief.
See, what I want to see is what they're going to try to do. Like, I don't want to see this. I want to see what they're going to try to play off to me as believable.
No,
I
don't want to hate more about this product than I already do.
No, I want to see how bad it can be. I want to see just how bad it can be.
Some people just like to watch the world burn. I'm pretty sure Z's that person.
I mean, come on. You already gave me Undertaker versus fake Undertaker back in the fucking 90s. And the dude portraying the Undertaker was a foot fucking shorter than the Undertaker. So let's have him stand face to face in the ring, everybody.
Yeah. But also, you got to realize we're all in our 30s and up now. That doesn't work for us anymore.
It didn't work for me then. I'm sorry. I may have been 9 years old, but I wasn't a fucking moron.
It's many you're a fucking moron.
I wasn't into that at all. Not at all.
No.
Nope.
I'm still not going to be into it. Lashley versus Rusev was the match following that. And that, of course, just was a fucking dumpster fire of a match, especially with Lashley going over. Look,
all the fucking build for all of that.
I said it weeks ago that when Rusev finally flipped out, putting Lashley, off the table, off the thing, kicking the fucking set on top of him. That was great. That was, okay, this is a really good payoff. Now, Rusev needs to beat Lashley in a match next week or the week after. Well, they waited like 4 weeks later, and then Lashley fucking won. So you're just like, I don't understand where this is going.
And then shitting on Rusev.
No wedding.
And he has new merch, though.
All right, so this thing has been getting like mad hits on the internet since it started.
Yeah.
It's the only reason Vince is still doing it, but now they want to drag it out and milk it for all it's worth, so this storyline isn't going anywhere.
No.
Anytime soon.
Wedding.
And I'll be honest, the promo for it that followed on Raw with Lana kind of telling Lashley what to do, I was laughing my ass off. Because it was ridiculous and actually funny. Did I want to see it lead into a wedding? No. But did I laugh my ass off at her going, this is just like we rehearsed it? And I'm like, you fucking pussy whip bitch. Because that's funny to me. And then the pay-per-view ended with...
This angle is giving me cancer.
That's
a bold
Stop
statement.
watching it.
Yeah.
I got to do this. I have to watch
Then...
it.
The TLC pay-per-view ended with the longest, shortest WWE Women's Tag Team match in history. The Kabuki Warriors of Asuka and Kairi Sane, who died in that match, took on Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair in the TLC match, which made sense because there was actually something to grab at the top of a ladder at the end of this fucking match.
In a TLC match.
Go on.
Kairi Sane died because a table didn't break. Becky had to roll her under the ring so all the doctors and medical staff could get to her to keep her safe. There's actually fan video of Becky going, all right, you go under here because I'm going to go back into this match. You're dead. And that match, it just seemed to fucking go on forever. As a matter of fact, I know that Asuka or somebody grabbed those belts. That match is still happening.
Becky's still tied to the ladder, I think.
Yeah.
No, the Kabuki Warriors are still trying to figure out where to set up the ladder. Like, that was the worst. I swear to God, they walked around with that ladder for like what felt like 5 fucking minutes. And they're like, oh, we're going to put it here. No. We're going to put it like, God damn it, bitch. I know you got a concussion. Just follow me.
She's dead. She fucking died.
She got hit with a fucking monitor in the head.
And that table didn't break when there was something that she was supposed to go through.
I was like, ooh, that hurt.
I was like, Kairi Sane is little in stature, and she took some of the worst fucking hits I've seen anybody take in a long time. Now, that withstanding, it does not justify anything that match was. Because the spots that they had to set up took way too long to set up, so it takes you out of it. You're like, what the fuck is going on? When they finally executed their spots, you're like, oh, that's what they were trying to do. Wow, that took forever. And it was just, it pulled you out of the match. So I have a question for you guys.
This is right for what it was.
So you've already answered my question because you just talked. As the final match in WWE's pay-per-views of 2019, is this the worst match from a pay-per-view that they've put out? I'm not saying Raw, I'm not saying SmackDown. I'm literally just talking about the pay-per-views. Could there have been a worse way for them to go out of pay-per-views in 2019? Smitty, you said you think it was all right?
It was all right. You could have ended it with the damn Lashley Lana angle you've been shoving down our throats, or the Corbin Reigns scene that's been shoved down.
Why would you end it with those?
Like they always like it when Roman's at the top of a card first and foremost, which he ended up at the top end of the card anyway.
Everyone ended up at the end of the card. Let's not make it all about Roman. Everyone was fighting.
But what was the last image you saw?
I don't remember.
It was Roman.
I think it's still going on.
It was Roman spearing Corbin off into a crowd of people.
That's how much it stands out that I don't remember. And I was sitting there watching it.
I think I turned it off right after the main event because I was done. Yeah, but yeah, that's when you kept making those jokes. I'm like, is he talking about everybody fighting in the back? Like how you kept talking about how it's still going on and shit. Like, is everybody still fighting in the back?
That's just.
But you know what though? That last shot, I don't mind that. That's, continuing the story. And the story with Baron Corbin and Roman Reigns, while, kid-oriented, it is not that bad. Like, at least it's consistent. And they're putting fucking Corbin over. It's like what you've wanted for the past, I don't know, when did Roman Reigns start wrestling?
Yes.
Dog food.
It was Roman Reigns.
Yeah, they put dog food on Roman Reigns and then he beat him twice.
Yeah.
Clean.
Roman hasn't beaten him.
Dog food in a bowl match.
So,
I wouldn't say clean.
Dog.
Doesn't matter. It's an angle. It makes you hate Corbin.
Yeah,
it makes me hate this whole angle.
Why? Like, okay, so since this is the
bad
What
writing.
Would You Do in 2020 show, Smitty, what kind of angle would you have between...
No, don't go that far ahead. We still got shit to talk to.
Okay, fine. Don't go down the rabbit hole.
Smitty, the ending to that pay-per-view is exactly what it should have been, because it sets up for the next pay-per-view of everybody brawling, the Royal Rumble. That's what that whole thing was setting up. It wasn't setting up more Roman versus Corbin.
Did you watch SmackDown?
I did, but it doesn't change. But what I'm saying is it was a setup for the next pay-per-view, not the next fucking shows.
Right, like if you look at the bigger picture.
Yeah, if you want to concentrate on two people, sure, that's your fault. That's your problem, not everyone else's. They did a thing where they set up a Royal Rumble pay-per-view. And they're still trying, and no one even cares anymore because it's the end of fucking December, and WWE shits all over their shows at the back half of December. Hell, they've been shitting on their shows all of December. This pay-per-view didn't fucking matter that we're talking about.
What pay-per-view?
So, exactly, TLC. So, being as bad as I feel that pay-per-view ended, what could there have been something worse of a way to end that pay-per-view that you would have been completely pissed off with? Because you're the one that's saying you thought the match was all right. I thought it sucked. I thought it just went too long. I thought it was not put together well at all. And outside of some of the physicality that looked good, the match overall was
It reminded
a shit
me
match.
of an indie show match. There was no psychology to that match whatsoever. And like you said, it didn't flow. It was just like, oh, set up this spot. All right, now go over here and set up this spot. Like
Charlotte and Becky going over could have made it worse.
Okay, I'm asking for another match in WWE on the pay-per-views in WWE. Is there another match that you thought was just an absolute shit show that was worse to end WWE's pay-per-views, even if it wasn't on TLC?
I could argue that the first fucking the Hell in a Cell match between
Seth and
Seth and Bray, the way
one.
that ended would
Give
have
you that one?
Yeah, that's pretty close.
Yeah,
pretty close.
Yep, you could have. You know what? Not even
Worse.
close. Yeah, I'll completely go worse. Yeah,
I might even say with the build-up that they tried to put behind Goldberg and Undertaker, and
Yeah,
that's
that
not a
was
pay-per-view.
Super Showdown.
That's Saudi.
That doesn't-
That's Saudi.
yeah.
That's a network exclusive. So, you can't knock that match because again, Goldberg got a fucking concussion mid-match. So
And you can tell.
right, you know, like
I mean, hold on. If we're pulling that, Kerry Sane got a concussion.
but that wasn't the reason why that match sucked.
Right.
Tying Becky to a fucking ladder like a fucking
Olive oil.
villain. You know what I'm saying? Like the
Hold
way
on,
that
though,
was
like,
set up.
I was like, all right, I'm not really a fan of this, but I've never seen anybody do it before.
Again,
Bull rope finish was cool.
the reason that match didn't flow was not because it didn't have psychology. I think it did have psychology.
It just had too much.
But no, it took too long to set up the things that kept the psychology going. So when it takes you out of it, it's really difficult to pull you back into it. That's my only. That was my major
about
problem.
halfway through that match, I'm like, yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
Like,
you're kind of.
I'm gonna
you lost
watch it, but I'm gonna
Yes.
do other stuff.
So okay,
even with Becky's chair shots, that took me out of it too. I mean, like she's hitting. I don't remember who it was, whether it
Oh
was
my
Kyrie
God.
or Asuka, and she would like start to swing hard, and then halfway through her swing, like slow down. and make
Charlotte,
like she doesn't know how to pull it.
Yeah.
Charlotte had a really bad one. It was like right before the end of the match. She grabs the chair and she goes swing it full force, and like right before she touches her, she slows down and just taps like with the wrist and shit. I'm like, oh, that was caught. All of it was caught on camera too, and I'm like, oh.
I do like. I won't knock the fact that when the ladder had the rope tied to it,
pull rope.
and they were and they pulled the rope to pull the ladder.
Yeah.
That was smart.
Yeah.
Again, there was some things that were pretty ingenious in this that I liked, but then as soon as that match kept going, it was just like, dude, this match needs to fucking end. It's done. We're done with this. Nobody cares. But again, then you look at the clock and it ends at 10:05. You're like, I get why that match went so long because this pay-per-view had to be longer than a Raw. You know.
It should have been better than what it was because I think the idea behind
I'm wondering
it
With the 4 fucking women that are in it.
was leading into one of the best matches that we might have seen all year, and man, did it fall short.
Yeah.
It was such a disappointment.
Honestly, guys, it could just be a language barrier. Oh no, I know, I
It's
don't,
not
I
even a
don't,
joke.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
I'm being
it's- yeah.
serious. Like, if Becky knows Japanese but Charlotte doesn't,
Okay, but then
now you're all speaking Carney, but at the same time, like,
then
Kizarni.
whatever.
then what you should do is you should have that match better laid out before you do it. Like the whole women's.
Well, they should have rehearsed that match.
That's what I'm saying. It
like
should have been
first thing in the
better-
morning, day of.
a couple days before too. Yes, I agree with you. That's what I'm saying is that match should have been better laid out because if you're rehearsing, you have translators, blah blah blah.
Unless it was so bad that because they were like, fuck it, go call it in the ring. And they called it in the ring, but it just took too long to get done what they wanted to do.
You have the TLC being the finishing pay-per-view for WWE in 2019. Smitty, I'll start with you. Overall grade for WWE pay-per-views for the year of 2019.
A B minus.
A B minus. All right. What is keeping it so high for you?
They have certain spots and matches every now and again that actually do stand out. Like you said, the Buddy Murphy Aleister Black match stood out on TLC. There's most of these pay-per-views. There's at least one match that stands out.
All right.
Most of them.
So the pay-per-views, of course, are Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, Fastlane Mania, Money in the Bank, Stomping Grounds, Extreme Rules, SummerSlam, Clash of Champions, Hell in a Cell, Survivor Series, and TLC. What was your high point of the pay-per-view, Smitty?
This one?
All of them over the not this one we already talked about.
Probably Survivor Series this year.
Yeah?
It was the first time in a long time I felt like Survivor Series was probably the best pay-per-view of the year.
All right, nice. Nick, overall grade for WWE's pay-per-views in 2019, and what was the one that you remember the most?
I'll go a little higher. I would say B+, because, with all the pay-per-views, there's some ups and some downs, but for the most part, there's ups. And, in between, we don't like Raw, we don't like what they're doing on SmackDown, whatever, but usually they come through on the pay-per-view and deliver something that's, that makes up for all that in between. With the exception, there were a couple low spots, so I can't give it an A, and the low spots were, like, real low, like that Hell in a Cell. That really hurt them. This TLC, the whole pay-per-view really hurt that. I would agree with Survivor Series, though. The build was great. The ending with Keith Lee getting over the way he did at the end of that pay-per-view, all of it, I would agree with the Survivor Series.
All right. And Z, sorry.
I'm going to go with a solid B.
Okay.
My pay-per-view of the year is always going to be WrestleMania, so my second pay-per-view.
Well, okay, so why WrestleMania? That's already something different.
It's WrestleMania.
Okay.
It just to me that I think when we're talking about best pay-per-view of the year, we should remove WrestleMania from it because that's just the whole spectacle in itself.
Yeah, but at the same time, there have been WrestleManias that you're like, this was shit. So regardless
but it's
of
still WrestleMania.
You telling me WrestleMania 9 was the best pay-per-view from WWE that year?
No, didn't it go like straight from 8 to 10? No,
There's never been enough.
I'm also going with Survivor Series because of the way they put over the talent in NXT. It kind of cemented something we all knew, that NXT is the best brand they have right now.
All right. So Smitty, you said what? C+?
B-.
B-. Sorry. And what did you say, Nick?
B+.
B+. You said B.
So B average.
I'm at C+. And
you just gave us a B-, you fuck.
That's what I do. That's what I do.
Lowering the bar.
But I'm going to say that WrestleMania was my highlight because there was so much shit talking from December 18th, 2018, when the McMahon family went out there saying, we're going to give you more of what you want and less of what you don't.
And Kofi going over.
Seth beating Brock right off the bat. Kofi going over. The women having a really good match, minus that little mess up pinfall at the end of it to main event. That triple threat was really good. I thought overall that was the first time that you really saw them going, okay, here, we're going to live up to our word. Now, a lot of people are still shit-talking that fucking Raw. Because they're even when it happened, they were like, this is the year ago that they promised this and they haven't given you shit. Kofi had a good run. Brock lost on 2 major pay-per-views to Seth Rollins. Regardless of the run that Seth had or the run that Kofi had, the ending of these matches were things that people wanted to see. People wanted to stop seeing Brock with the title. But Brock didn't have the title, and how shitty did everything get? Brock's got the title right now, and he's had some good matches with it. He never does the end of the year pay-per-view. He does Survivor Series, and he's gone until the next year, until 2020. That's what Brock does. We said if they were going to put this title on Brock, we wanted to see him at like every other pay-per-view. We wanted to see him more often on the shows.
But I didn't want him every week.
Right, and he was. He was on more
because
often.
if you put him on every week, it doesn't make it special.
Agreed. 100% agreed.
So if you have him once a month and every other pay-per-view, or something around that way, perfect.
And that was like the argument when I made it about Okada. I was like, dude, Okada's defended his title less than Brock in this fucking entire time. And everyone's bitching that Brock is always not, but Brock was non-existent as well. Okada at least showed his face at majority of the shows.
Yeah, they don't even have to have Brock wrestle.
Right.
He just needs to be on the show, show up, be involved,
Brock
show
Lesnar,
the title.
Brock Lesnar as your Money in the Bank winner was hilarious when he was rocking out with the Boom Brocks. Right?
Yeah, but that got really PG really fucking quickly.
But it's fine. It's still something different. They gave us things that were different that we enjoyed overall. I can't say that the WWE in 2019 was an absolute shit show. I can say some of their shows were absolute shit shows, and I'm referring to Raws and SmackDowns and things like that. But every pay-per-view, like we all said, for the most part, was good. Not great. Go ahead.
I guess looking at the bigger picture here, what does it matter if the weekly show was shit as long as the pay-per-view is decent?
Because they're okay.
I mean,
saying,
obviously story build,
right?
But
that's exactly what it is. That's like saying I'm going to go read a novel, but as long as the last 2 chapters of that novel are really good, it does not matter about the first 25.
It's like he knows how I read.
I'm just going to skip to the end, and that's
first
what it
2,
is.
last 2, I make up the middle.
So she didn't get pegged in the ass by her? No? Okay, weird. That's the way I took it.
A lot must have happened in between chapters.
Well, they're in limbo right now because when you have shit Raws and shit SmackDowns, eventually people are going to not care about the pay-per-view. It won't even matter if the pay-per-view is good because why do I want to watch the pay-per-view if Raw and
Because they're
SmackDown are
good. Because
that
you know from
bad?
the last one that the pay-per-views are good.
But like if I stop,
No, it just
you know
means
what I mean?
it just means for guys like us, we don't have to watch during the week. We have to watch once a month.
All you gotta do is watch the pay-per-view and read dirt sheets.
Yeah, exactly.
So overall, we thought that WWE finished decently this year. Not amazing, but again, just like their pay-per-views. They haven't been amazing overall, but they weren't absolute fucking shit. Now we're going to move into NXT. NXT this week kicked off with a commercial-free title match between Adam Cole defending his NXT championship against Finn Balor.
Take over quality.
Yeah, just go.
Yes.
Just talk about it. Yeah.
Sorry.
No.
Sorry.
I know. I'm not even joking. I want someone else to lead into this.
They put on a takeover quality match to start the show.
Just take over
The whole
Right.
show.
No, but I'm saying, I'm talking. You open NXT. You do your montage. Boom, right into a takeover fucking main event. And it's Finn Balor versus Adam Cole. They start talking about their fucking past in Japan. Finn's now coming out to Prince, not the music, the actual, title and shit like that. Like they are going, all right, if AEW is going to give you that indie feel, we're going to give you that indie feel, blah, blah, blah. And they did a great job. The storytelling in that match was great. I was a little upset about the ending only because I'm a wrestling mark and I would rather have just seen like somebody go over clean, but whatever. But yeah, that match was fucking amazing from start to finish. Like I understand why nobody was watching AEW, and they did that on purpose so nobody would. We're going to give you a half an hour commercial-free fucking main event match right at the beginning so you don't even think about turning back to AEW.
Yeah.
And they did. That match, seriously, like, that's a dream match for a lot of people. And they kicked it off with a bang. Z said, it was a little bit weird ending, but I was fine with it overall.
That was right. It was 2 heels.
The match was stellar.
I know, but after all that, it ends with like a low blow. And
Yeah.
I'm like, come on. Now
So-
I get it because there was interference in
Now,
Blue balls.
I do want to talk about that because the way that ended was one of the ways where when I'm watching it, I'm like, I get it.
They're keeping Finn away from the title.
No, I'm talking about the way they did the screw finish. Like there are sometimes we see a screw finish and we're like, dude, that was so fucking wonky. It was dumb. Gargano showing back up, it was kind of expected, but truly surprised Finn. The audience was truly surprised as well. So obviously, who's the one person who's like, I don't give a fuck? And it's going to be Adam Cole.
Yep.
So it makes sense. In every state aspect that you look at that, when everyone but one person gives a shit about what's going on away from the ring, that one person in the ring is always going to be the person who gets the win. And I thought that was beautifully played by NXT.
Yes, I agree. I'm just going, just in my own personal, like, I want to see who is going to really win the match. Like, I'm mad that it ended that way.
Well, yeah, but
I
it also
see why
sets
they
up-
did it in the psychology, and now you can pull Finn away from the title, do his little program with Gargano, and bring back Cole and Finn for, like, takeover for Mania weekend or some
Right.
shit.
Who owes me money, by the way, for NXT? I don't think Undisputed Era is going to lose a title by 2019.
We're going to fucking wait until January 1st.
I wasn't involved in that.
Ryder's got to defend on. Ryder has to defend on Christmas.
Does
Yeah,
he? I didn't even know
dog.
they had one.
Yeah, it's him versus.
It open. Is this a well?
Oh,
Roger
yeah, it's an
Strong
open
defends
challenge.
next
So
week.
Velveteen Dream's gonna come back and
Ooh, I might
fuck
drop.
you.
Oh yeah.
We'll do it in a TLC match. We'll put nothing above the ring, and whoever gets it,
Whoever
wins the
gets
match.
pinned loses.
No, whoever gets the nothing above the ring wins.
NXT scored 795,000 viewers, while AEW had 683,000.
A record low.
Damn.
For them.
Just playing off of your saying you're going to watch this and you're not going to turn the channel, and it showed, like you said, Smitty. It's a record low for AEW, just kind of like their attendance. So NXT then had, Pete Dunne had a good match.
Cameron
Killian
Cameron
Dane
Grimes.
and Damian Priest was a really good match.
Yeah,
the way they
very
worked
physical.
that rib injury too.
Cameron
but they
Grimes Kushida.
kind of made Priest look like Cena in a sense, but whatever.
Right.
It was a really physical match.
Kushida, Cameron Grimes was fucking great. Too.
Yeah.
Pete Dunne and that other guy from
Travis
UK.
Banks.
Buzzsaw.
That was
Travis
that
Banks.
match. I think that was the best match of the night. Even though we had our main event in the beginning of the show and the end of the show, I mean, as far as like technical wrestling and actually like got me popping, like, oh, what do you mean he reversed it? Excited to watch the match, like the Pete Dunne and whatever the
Travis Banks.
Travis Banks. That's
I was really
to look him
excited.
up.
I was excited to see Rhea Ripley win the title too. I was like, thank fucking God. And I'm a real big fan of hers right now too. So
Another product that kind of developed in the UK too, right there.
Yep.
with Rhea
So
Ripley.
going into the Rhea Ripley Shayna Baszler match, Baszler has been a very dominant champion in NXT. She has beaten everybody that she has taken on. Obviously, she lost once that belt, but she gained it back. Cumulative days, she has held the NXT the women's championship more than Asuka.
451 days.
Was this current run.
Right.
And then some 100-something the one before, and making it more than Asuka's total reign.
Cumulative.
Now, that being said, the way Rhea Ripley was set up after Survivor Series, she was the hottest person in that women's division, either side. UK,
All three.
NXT.
All four.
We're only talking about NXT because it's not even really playing into that.
Yeah,
But she was the hottest thing going into anything that's on NXT television. Her getting that win not only was smart, amazing, well-calculated booking by Triple H and all of the writers, all of the other people in creative for NXT, it was done at such the perfect time that I don't think you could have picked anything better. That's better than any type of Mania moment that she could have had in NXT. Because Lord knows if she ever goes to Raw or SmackDown and becomes one of those people to main event WrestleMania, that's going to be all-time better. But this right now, the way everything just came together, I feel that Rhea Ripley right now might be the hottest thing in professional wrestling. Period. I can't think of somebody that is on such a streak right now.
Adam Cole.
I even think above Adam Cole.
Well, I'm just saying, like the next comparable would be Adam
Cassidy.
Cole's. Adam's Cole's run. We're only talking about NXT.
You said
No, I
wrestling
said
in general.
professional. Now I'm talking about the hottest thing in professional wrestling. I don't see anyone that's had a run like what she did to come to
Yeah,
that.
I mean, I think we're talking about how she's a champion now, right?
Yes.
Okay. I think it's a little too soon. I think she should have chased a little bit more. Not saying I think she should have lost to Baszler, but this is like, I think this is your spot for a double count out or a double disqualification or something. Just to prolong it a little bit. I mean,
To that Portland show.
I
at
think
least?
she's too young. Not saying she doesn't have the talent, because I mean she's already a veteran as far as mindset. But she's only 23. So if you put the title on her now and she beat the one girl who beat everybody else, so now Rhea Ripley's got to hold the title forever.
No, not necessarily, because there's many times that people have been beaten that beat others that have the record.
I'm just saying, with her only being 23, I hope they don't shoot her to the moon really quickly, so that way 10 years down the road, there's stuff for her to still do.
At the same time, though, each wrestler has different weaknesses, and each wrestler has a different Achilles heel. So while people may not have been able to figure out Shayna Baszler's, it might be easier to figure out Rhea Ripley's. But even at the same time,
Storm figured it out.
with the way that they have moved everything in NXT, I don't feel like this is going to be a bad story for her as the champion. It's even possible that Shayna wins it and Rhea wins it back. Like at Mania.
No, I think Shayna's going to be like number 30 in the Women's Royal Rumble. I think she's going to be in it, and then that's going to set up her and Becky at Mania.
I would love that. I think that would be really smart. But at the same time, you never know. It's very possible.
Yeah, especially when Survivor Series ended. Well, Becky
no
dropping
shit.
away
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of things set up and everything like that. But right now, back to Rhea Ripley. Before we continue our future booking, I unlike Z, I do feel this was the apex. Smitty, what do you feel?
I was more surprised that they let her that Rhea went over. I was genuinely surprised of Rhea going over. I figured they would if she would have went over eventually, but not on the NXT show.
So if these were if these was a pro wrestling scorecard, you would have picked Shayna.
Just on the fact it was NXT television.
Okay. And Z, would you would have picked Shayna?
I would have picked Rhea Ripley because there was a title changing hands that night, and that was the one.
All right, Nick, how did you feel about this?
I was really excited, albeit a little surprised because we had talked about it maybe last week or the week before about when this was all going to happen because I felt
said Portland.
I felt like you did, and I felt eventually that Rhea was going to take the title. I didn't know how soon, but I really thought that there was a distinct possibility because again, there were 2 title matches. This is getting close to the end of the year. They're trying to beat out AEW. They're going to do something big, and I would have picked Rhea if we had done a scorecard for that. And
now watching this match, how many times did you think Shayna was going to win?
Only the one time towards
when she like got up and then drug her back and cinched it back in.
Yeah, and I think she even did that twice.
Yeah, and at that point I was like, all right, this match is over. And then
Rhea's
she grabs.
Face, it was kind of turning purple, and I'm like, fuck, this is it.
Yeah, you colored people.
Yep, but.
So I was listening to Busted Open, and Bully Ray was talking about the one bad psychology move in this match was right after that. Rhea Ripley gets up and starts stomping a mud hole on Shayna Baszler. He's like she was just in a rear naked chokehold for like 2 minutes and got up and just started stomping her. He's like, that doesn't make sense. What she should have done was drop like a desperation leg drop and then went back to selling the choke, like burst of adrenaline. All right, I'm still fucked up, and then go into the finish of the match. But at the time, I mean, the match was awesome. I didn't even notice what he was talking about until I went back and
How happy are you that Sirius XM is free right now?
I've been doing the Apple podcast, so hour at a time.
Okay,
so
yeah.
it's the same show, but they split it up into hours.
Oh, okay. That being said, now I want to move into the future of professional wrestling. Off of that, NXT had one of the obviously Shayna losing to Rhea Ripley is one of the biggest title changes maybe since, I don't know, Bray winning that Universal Championship. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's been some pretty big title changes in WWE. AEW obviously has, Chris Jericho winning and becoming the only and youngest ever AEW world champion.
Also the oldest.
PCO becoming the oldest ROH champion in the final battle.
And then you have Adam Cole obviously finally becoming the NXT champion. You have Sami Callihan running the Impact World Champion right now. NWA, obviously, you got Nick Aldis just, running that division. Allison Kay, having the women's title for NWA. Rock and Roll Express becoming 9-time NWA World Tag Team
Colt
champions.
Cabana winning a title.
Nope.
For the second time.
It's Aaron Stevens.
Did that match?
Now, yeah. Into the Fire, he lost it, but Colt Cabana still won the title.
Yeah.
Well, the second time for the second time, technically.
We're reviewing the year and what happened.
Oh, I thought you were.
Yeah.
But no, because everything else you said was all current champions until he said the Colt Cabana.
Oh, all right. Okay. So, all right. So now I get where you were coming from, Smitty. Yeah. Okay. Now he's right. So, yes. I lost everything I was fucking thinking of now.
talking
Taya
about
Valkyrie,
NWA,
Impact Women's Champion. SmackDown is New Day, right?
Yep.
There's so many fucking titles.
SCU.
SCU being the AEW Tag Team Champions. Rio was finally seen on television for the first time in 27 weeks. It being your AEW Women's Champion. Yes, Aaron Stevens is your NWA National Champion. With the television
Third
title...
degree?
Huh?
Third degree national champion?
The television title coming back at AEW's Hard Times pay-per-view.
NWA?
Yeah. What, did I say AEW?
Yeah.
Jesus fucking
I was like,
so
they
many
got a
fucking
mid-card
things.
title? Sweet.
Right, yeah. All right. Now, with these titles, Brock being your WWE champion, Viking Raiders, Shinsuke Nakamura, IC, United States.
That belt is not real.
That belt's totally real.
No, it's not.
The U.S. is going to be changed soon.
I know, but I hope it doesn't look like a big fucking medallion.
It's like delivered. WWE has the belt and it's ready to be changed.
Is there a picture of it?
No, there's no picture of it yet, but WWE has the brand new United States Championship.
You think they'll change it after Ray loses it?
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. That being said, you have your current list of champions, your current product. Let's start with Smitty. Because it's way more fun to watch him go, Give me something, and again, this is, and I'm going to state this because we've had many times of having fun with you, of you going with reality in your own head rather than booking it like you want it to be booked. So again, like you want it to be booked, not how you think WWE is going to book.
And that's the rest of the show, everybody.
Hey, all right, it might be done right here. But, Smitty, I want to know what's one thing that you want to see booked and book it for WWE in the year. It could be any title. It could not be a title. It could be something that you just want to see happen in 2020 for WWE. Be it a WrestleMania moment, a great SummerSlam moment, someone who deserves to win the Money in the Bank, how you would want it to, and how you would want it to see it booked in your head that you feel would make all the sense and keep people interested.
A stronger booking of the mid card in general.
Okay, how?
Take some of the talents that and put make grudge matches and grudge feuds throughout the mid card that makes sense. And you can get some of these guys over. Like I would like to see more of Aleister Black. I want to see more guys like Buddy Murphy, more of the Ricochets, and actual meaningful feuds. It does not have to be for a title in general.
Mm-hmm.
Book those mid cards until it makes stuff like your Money in the Banks and the Royal Rumbles matter more. You can throw a little bit more unpredictability into your storylines that way.
All right. Who do you think they should anchor that with on Raw and SmackDown?
Hands down, I would say Aleister Black on Raw.
Okay.
SmackDown's a little bit hard. Honestly, because I think Braun Strowman should be in the main event already, back in the main event already. But main card wise, at one point I would have said Shorty G, but then I just can't take him seriously anymore with that fucking gimmick.
So, would you think that building a strong mid card with Braun as your IC champion?
That could work.
Okay. Because obviously that seems like the
and at that point you have a great way to, if you're gonna run with Braun as a face champion, you could build heels chasing Braun. You could also at that time build like another baby face or two for after Braun drops.
Why the fuck would you give Braun Strowman the IC title?
Because he's about to go for it,
and he's already the one saying he wants it. He's saying he wants it.
I understand that, but why would anybody want that?
Because
he's first singles title too.
He can't win a fucking major championship. He's like
right,
0-7.
Right, but the problem is who on the mid card is going to be Braun Strowman in a straight up match.
Exactly. You don't. Then you can that's what Smitty's saying. That's smart booking because then you can get triple threats. You can get fatal 4-ways, things like that into it, to where you're building more people and having it be an actual climb.
That or they already have an opponent in mind and they're going to bring up Keith Lee or Dijak.
Very
Or
possible too.
both.
Very
And you're
possible too.
But
Honestly,
then you're
I hope
creating
they
a
don't.
big guy division all its own.
Right.
For the IC title. Good thing it looks like a fucking medallion now.
I think it looks
Hashtag
pretty.
not my IC title.
Jesus Christ. Smitty, who do you want to see end who do you want to, for Impact, the world's champion? Who would you like to see have a good run in 2020 with it?
First and foremost, I will say Tessa Blanchard for sure.
Okay, so you want her to win it and have a good run.
Yeah, have a good run, and then it's this the whole glass ceiling thing's completely broken if she has a decent run as Impact World Champion.
Even if she
I
doesn't, the glass is still broken. Just so you know.
But they say I think Sami Callihan's even if he elongate his run for a minute, that'd be cool too.
So you think so you'd be okay if he won or lost at Hard to Kill?
Yeah, but eventually you got to put that on Tessa. Eventually.
Okay, so Tessa Blanchard is your hopeful to have a good run no matter what
Yes.
in 2020. All right, Nick.
Thanks for translating.
I had to figure that out. Nick Aldis is your NWA World's Champion. He holds the 10 pounds of gold.
Sweet Charlotte.
Is there something that you would like to see in NWA? Somebody that you would like to see have a good run? I mean, hey, Marty Scurll's there now. You know, a guy that everyone thought was going to go to AEW after he was done with his ROH contract just fucked the wrestling world's head by going to NWA. Or do you think that we should have Nick Aldis still holding this belt to finish 2020? Or even maybe drop it and get it back, similar to what he did when Cody won it and then he got it back?
I'll be honest. I was not familiar with Nick Aldis prior to NWA. I had heard of him.
Magnus.
Oh,
Mr. Mickey James.
See, exactly. And now that I've been watching NWA consistently, I think I really like his character. He's clearly a heel, but there's this thing about him where he's like, I don't want to say he's a nice heel.
He's an intelligent heel.
He's
like a classy
intelligent.
champion
He's
heel.
very classy, and he's not like over the top, arrogant. He just is.
Like Nick Bockwinkel.
And I think that's one thing that professional wrestling as a whole needs. I think that his character is perfect the way it is. I could see him holding the title. I would like to see him hold the title most of 2020. If anybody would take the title from him,
Not James Storm.
not James Storm.
What y'all got against James and Mother effing Storm?
I like Eli Drake a lot too. I like his character.
Where Smitty says,
Eli Drake.
Let me talk to you. I think that a rivalry down the line with these two, a good
Inevitable.
storyline, is inevitable, and I think it would be good if they played it out, long term. Maybe Eli takes the title towards the end of the year, goes back and forth a little, but I like Nick Aldis, especially for those people that, like me, aren't really familiar with Nick Aldis. And, they're just now, it's been a couple months down the line, they're really getting into NWA now to really, let people sink their teeth into him.
right.
So,
He's held that belt for 423 days. He won it
Straight
back in
just went
October.
right.
Yeah, he won it back in October of 2018. So he's been the only NWA World's Heavyweight Champion through 2020. Obviously, with NWA getting a lot more steam, it's very possible that you could see a title change. But it's also very possible that you couldn't, because Billy Corgan, Lagana, those are the, your top two guys running it. Billy Corgan's a huge old school wrestling fan. There's a reason that the NWA has the old school feel. It's in a studio, so on and so forth. It's also possible that you could see all this run with this for a couple years. That being said, so you're hoping, or you would like to see anyone specific?
take the title from him?
Yeah.
Eli Drake.
Eli Drake? Okay,
Yeah.
just make sure. Smitty, you yayed that. You have your alarms notifications going off for Espen.
Yeah.
What's up, Bear? Bear saying hello. Is there someone else in the NWA that you would like to possibly see take the title outside of Eli Drake? Or would you just prefer Nick Aldis to run with it 2020 for the most part?
With the NWA being so new to a lot of fans, I would like to see somebody. I probably would like to see maybe James Storm get a second chance and probably run with the title.
Okay.
James Storm's a familiar face in professional wrestling, and a little bit more known than Nick Aldis. So James Storm with the title will put a little bit more eyes onto the product, possibly.
So Nick, back to the WWE route, because obviously it's the thing that most people watch, has the most eyes on it. Something in WWE, and this also includes NXT. I'm sorry for Smitty, I didn't tell you that, but it also can include NXT. Smitty, I do love your idea. Strengthening a mid card makes any show better because it's more people to care about over that first 3 hours, that 3 hours on Raw and the 2 hours on SmackDown. I agree that if you're only concentrating on two specific things, the rest of the show is going to fall flat. So the mid card was a great idea. Nick, give me a champion that you want to see have a good, strong run, be it tag, women's, universal, WWE, IC, or United States. Doesn't matter. Give me something that you want to see with a good run in WWE. Again, it could also be the NXT World, NXT Women's, or NXT Tag.
Current champion or somebody?
Anybody. I want to know what you would just want.
I would like to see I'd like to see Drew McIntyre get a title.
Any title?
Preferably the world title.
All right.
Not the Blue Universal, obviously.
Right, because he's on Raw.
Right. I'd like to see him get a run because I think that his style, being as big of a dude as he is, and they use that term hybrid all the time. I think
like Kid Hybrid.
No, that guy.
I think that his heel character is on point. But people, I think he's a likable guy, but his heel character is great. I think he's really good in the ring. I think he just has that. I don't want to just say package, but he's got the
Sounds
package.
like you want his package.
Yeah, he's got that package.
I love his package. All right, now book me him getting that title.
And that's why it's not going to happen.
I would like to see him and Brock at Mania. I mean, there's no reason you couldn't do it.
Because the people don't hate Brock for not being there.
Right. People hate Brock, but they still love Brock. People hate Drew.
When you hated Brock, you just hated the fact that he wasn't there.
Right. So
still isn't.
I think that you could work
It's
in.
different. Now he comes home twice a month.
Yeah, I would like to
Mom
see.
and Dad got
Mania?
a new
Yeah.
custody arrangement.
So, how does he get to Brock at Mania?
Win the Royal Rumble.
So you think Drew McIntyre should be the 2020?
Talk about lazy
Yep.
booking, Nick. God.
Hey, man, it's easy.
It's easy when it's smart, too.
All right.
And then he can stalk Brock until Mania. I mean, you have months between Royal Rumble and Mania. He could just kind of keep it low key, and he's got this in his back pocket that's coming. It's Mania's coming, Brock, and eventually he just works his way to Mania and takes over.
During this period of time, how many times exactly does he point at the WrestleMania sign?
None.
Okay.
He doesn't need to. He'll look up at
Not
it.
even once, Nick.
Nope.
Like not even
Bullshit.
after winning the Royal
After
Rumble.
winning the Rumble,
No, you know
he's
what?
definitely
No, you know what?
pointing
One
at
time,
that sign.
one time in the Go Home show, one time.
Bullshit. He's going to point at
Go
that
home show before WrestleMania?
Yep.
You don't
one
think he's
time.
going to point to it after winning the Rumble?
Nope.
He's going to look up at it going, I know you're there.
He'll look up at it, and then he'll look at the crowd and just kind of smirk, like, you know where I'm
I
going
can
with
see
this.
that.
You know?
I can see that. That's good.
Okay, like the old Thanos from the first Avengers movie.
So how long does he hold it after Mania?
3 days.
To the next Raw.
NXT.
To the next night.
He loses it on NXT.
Keith Lee.
To Cameron Grimes. Cameron Grimes beats him clean.
Yeah, all right. But no, Nick. When should he hold it until?
SummerSlam.
Slam of Summers.
Slams.
Who
Take
slams this summer?
Yeah.
Kushida.
All right.
Okay, another real answer.
Yeah, this is going somewhere for a minute.
Revenge match. Give it back to Brock.
Ooh, he's just running Brock with his title. All right. Z. AW is, for lack of a better term, starting to become Ariel's best friend in The Little Mermaid. You know, Flounder. Even TNT, when promoting basketball matches, saying basketball games are saying it's so and so, like it was like Bucks versus something. I don't remember what team it was that the Bucks were playing. But
what Bucks? Hold on, the Milwaukee Bucks. Or
the Milwaukee Bucks. Okay. Versus I don't remember.
Probably the Lakers.
Yes, it was the Lakers. It was Lakers versus Bucks.
Okay. And the Lakers got their ass whipped.
But in the picture that they had that they put out on Twitter, LeBron and someone else were dressed up as wrestlers, and the Bucks were also dressed up as wrestlers. I don't remember who the Lakers were, but I specifically remember one of the Milwaukee Bucks players was the Ultimate Warrior, because someone quoted the tweet and was like, "Hey, TNT, you have your own wrestling organization, and the team's called the Bucks. Why didn't you use your own wrestling organization to dress these guys up for wrestling matches? You literally have a team called the Bucks.
You had one job."
So even TNT is using WWE wrestlers in their promotion
WWE wrestlers
for the NBA. Okay?
And this is dead WWE wrestlers.
And this is how Vince wins every time.
He's just sitting here. That's good shit.
No, that's good shit.
Hey guys, watch this.
Give me a storyline executed well for a title. Maybe. Doesn't have to be. But something that will get people invested to where this doesn't seem like it's going to shit itself after 3 years. Like something that makes it big.
Okay, so I can't do that because that's not my current mindset. Like I can't even pretend. Like right now, AEW to me is they spend too much time making fun of WWE or taking shots at WWE or talk about their tag team division. They're like, oh, we strive to be the best on like other companies, and like we all know who they're talking about.
Tag team wrestling
So like I can't give you a storyline that's going to save this company right now. Maybe a little more with Hangman turn. Like I just don't care. It was fun at first. And like Jericho told the locker room, like the honeymoon phase is over. We have to stop throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks and kind of steer it in a direction. So things I did like, okay, all right, you want me to build up a storyline for you? Here's one. For the next couple weeks, all you see of Sean Spears and Tully Blanchard is them just searching for a partner. We'll team up with you and go out, they, lose the match, win the. I don't know how it would affect his standing, so I don't even want to say they'd have a match. But just have him, repeat,
scouting.
Yeah, exactly. And then you.
But also, that means you got to drop the Janela storyline, too, at that point.
Is there one?
Yeah, Spears is feuding with Janela.
Oh, I don't.
According to what, Dark?
I watch AEW every week, and I couldn't even tell you that.
Last week there was this whole tag match with if Spears was teaming with Kip Sabian and Janela.
I don't know, man. Maybe give Moxley the title, but I don't think that helps you in the direction you're going right now. Like I think you need more stability. I think you actually need to take a page out of WWE's book and kind of base your shit around fucking.
I sent the tweet in the. Our
yeah,
chat.
LeBron's
It's the tweet with the Lakers
Bucks.
versus Bucks.
Yeah, but I don't know. Just
it's also
you give these guys good questions, and then you ask me about AEW, and I just don't fucking.
They're
know.
all
But-
WWE.
I mean, you're
characters.
that's what I'm saying. But you're gonna get a WWE one as well. That's the thing. I gave Smitty Impact. I gave Nick NWA. I'm giving you AEW.
I get it.
What I want is there. Okay, so are you just basically saying that in your eyes right now, there's nothing that you could think of that AEW could do to salvage itself, that it might not shit the bed in 3 years?
Yeah, I mean, basically that's what I'm getting at.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, there are some people that are definitely checked out of it. I personally can't say I'm fully checked out of it because
I'm still gonna watch it.
Right.
Like I still give it a chance because I want it to succeed. But every week, I'm one of those people that I used to watch AEW live. Now I watch NXT live, and I go back and rewatch AEW. Partly because Hulu has the full 2 hours and it doesn't cut it down at all. So if
for what?
For Dynamite.
Oh, I didn't even know it was on Hulu.
Yeah, it's on TNT, so I have the live Hulu, so I get it.
Okay, yeah. So
but the WWE one's always edited, always hour and a half or whatever. I get the full 2 hours, so I can go back and watch the whole show without missing anything.
Okay. I personally am. I've always been AEW's biggest critic, on the show. And I even from the fucking jump of it being announced and who was running it. I was happy the Bucks lost that tag team match, this week. So SCU stayed, and again,
I never thought the Bucks were going to win.
So here's one thing that people are trying to talk about, the one thing that they are doing in WWE, the executives are trying to get some of their other talent over at this point.
Yeah.
Well, they have to. As a company, you have to try and get as many people over as possible. Right now in the honeymoon phase.
How about the Butcher, the Blade, and the Bunny? They got real over after their second match, losing to the EVP.
Mm-hmm.
But they won the week before, and they still looked good. And more so,
did they?
Darby Allin.
Your whole fucking thing to set up is we're going after you, Cody, and Cody then wins.
I would have had them lose disqualification, beat the fucking tar out of him.
That'd have been fine.
Yep.
If they would have lost by DQ,
Yep.
Sure. That makes them look even more badass.
Yep.
You're bringing people in to build up other
They're
people.
doing a good job of getting the Dark Order over, though.
Dude, this is the Dark Order's final chance for me. It's fine. I mean, look, if you got your minions that are going to fucking punch the mat, even though they're pretending to punch Dustin Rhodes' head, that's fine. It's the worst fucking punches in the world. Jesus Christ.
Worse than Shane.
It was real bad.
Yeah, he wasn't even hitting him. He wasn't even hitting the fucking mat.
He doesn't still try to sell it.
AEW in itself, I think I agree 100% with you, Z. They're their own worst enemy right now. It's fun to take pot shots at things, but if you're not providing substance behind it, those pot shots are just something that everyone's like, oh, yeah, that hurt. Yeah, thanks for shooting a BB with the BB. Here's the fucking cannon.
It reminds me of WWE a little bit where, there's 2, maybe 3 main storylines, and then everyone else is just, okay, you're going to do this week or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, that goes back
again, they're not putting any substance to the product. It's like a flash in a pan almost.
Or stuff that they look like they're going to build goes the wayside real quick. Similar to things we have complained about with WWE.
I will give them the benefit of the doubt on that because there have been a few injuries that have.
True.
You got to call an audible. Oh shit, we didn't really have anything planned. That kind of shit that happens.
Right.
Okay, but I don't know. I'm just losing interest, and I'm losing interest very quickly.
They really need to sit down with having next week off, and sit down and look at 2020 is upon us. Here's what we did for our first year. Not even a cumulative year, just
11
in the
weeks.
first year that we've been in existence.
No, it's not 11 weeks. Dynamite's 11 weeks.
From,
Let's stop pretending it's 11
May
weeks.
to the end. From May to the end of 2019.
Yeah, they had
here's what we
basically a
did.
year run.
So
as a company, not as a weekly television.
Nick, finish your point.
So let's sit back and see what worked and what didn't, and fucking just slow it down. Like Z said, stop worrying about fucking pretend they don't exist.
Mm-hmm.
Pretend you're the only fucking promotion that's out there, and that you're the only thing that matters. Because when you worry about all these other people, worry about yourself. That's why I tell my fucking kid, don't worry about what these fucking little kids are doing around you. Worry about your own shit.
But the other thing is, a lot of the stuff they're saying about their tag team division and shit is wrong. They're like, oh, you'd never seen this on a main event. I'm like, I just seen Error versus somebody a couple weeks ago on NXT as the main event.
Right, they keep putting their foot in their mouth. Just
and
stop.
NXT, it's still under the WWE umbrella. It's the one you're going in direct competition with. But when you talk shit about the show, make sure it's factual.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they don't have the division we do. They got a pretty good fucking tag division in NXT. The main roster, not so much. But NXT, I mean, it's a smaller show, so
And it's
it
like
just
you're
feels
not-
like they have a better
You're
division.
not fighting Raw and SmackDown. You're fighting NXT.
Right.
That's who you're going up against.
Oh, hold on.
And they're
You just about put
kicking
your foot in
your
your mouth. Outside of Forgotten Sons era, what tag teams do they have left inside of NXT?
Breezango, they've built them up pretty well. I'm just saying they're good, and they have what the fuck are those people? The hip hop bros from Britain, Mark Andrews and
They're NXT UK.
whatever. They're still under the NXT brand. I don't know if you realize this, but since they went to TV, they're kind of making the thing under the same umbrella.
To say the direct, you made it like the direct competition is NXT, and just about the tag team division. Yeah, but the NXT tag team division is lacking right now too.
Okay, well, I wouldn't know that because it's just better.
What? I'll agree that the performing matches. Okay, so you have the Young Bucks, you have Lucha Bros, we have SCU, you have Private Party,
Lucha
Best
Express
Friends.
or whatever.
Best
Jurassic
Friends.
Express.
Okay, which hasn't been wrestling much together, but then again, Luchasaurus was injured.
Hybrid 2. We haven't seen in a while.
What is that? Jack Evans.
Jack Evans and Hella
Which
Angelico.
okay, so all right, we're talking all about other. When is somebody besides Lucha Bros, SCU, Young Bucks being the main feature?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
No, I'm
hold
not-
on. I actually gotta defend the point here. They were pushing Best Friends there for a minute. Best Friends were getting a pretty good push through that division. But you're right. Everyone who's gotten a chance at the titles has been.
Now we haven't seen him in 3 weeks.
Yeah, and it's kind of like what they did with Riho. She's your women's champion. Where the fuck was she before this week? You know, again, these are nitpicking things. But if I'm going to say which tag division is better, I'm going to go by what one is putting on match quality. I'm not going by how deep your tag division is, because there was a time that fucking Raw had one of the deepest tag divisions, but they were putting on shitty matches and making people look like shit.
Mm-hmm.
If you're constantly showcasing all of these other tag teams, but kicking them in the balls, you don't have a deep tag division. You're killing it. You're showing that these 3-4 can tread water, these 2, 3, or 4 can tread water, while the other ones are just, I mean, they're here yet. So you have a bigger tag division.
So
Cool.
now you have a locker room full of jobbers with 4 main event talents when it should be all main event talents.
And if there's
really.
anything that NXT has proven year after year after year, it's when their division seems like it's going away, they re-fucking fill that.
They have a
and
Dusty
make
Rhodes
it
Classic.
look
They have a
Yeah.
Dusty Rhodes Classic to showcase their new talent that's coming in.
Which is coming back.
Yep.
Well, that's Rose Classic. I was reading something that said that it's going to be pretty much a lot of the UK tag teams. And
Exactly,
because
because
they're
they
kind of, like you said, kind of making a hybrid.
Well, Worlds Collide coming up. Well, part of it because Worlds Collide is coming up,
Which is
too.
fine, and again, and that's what it is. I understand where you're coming from, Smitty. I'm not. This is actually something that you're not wrong. It's just a good debate point. God, I've liked you twice on this one. Fuck you, Smitty.
You are
go
sick.
home. God, you are sick.
See you guys.
But I'm just a fan of tag team wrestling, so
You know, I was really excited for AEW as it was developing, earlier in the year, and because I wanted that other option that was, to me, a little bit easier to access.
No, that's what Impact's on.
I walked right into that. I still like them. I don't love them. I'm still in because, again, I have a hope for the future, and I like to be optimistic with the fact that we're going into a new year and maybe that they will make some changes. And but I got to say, now that I'm more into the NXT brand, there's a big gap between what we were talking about a few weeks ago between 1, 2, and then there's a distant third with AEW right now for me. So I don't know, man. It's a little disappointing, but I'm still optimistic, cautiously optimistic.
All right. Now Z. I said we were going to give you the WWE question, and I am giving you the WWE question. Be it NXT, Raw, or SmackDown, give me somebody that you want to see have a great title reign that you feel is deserving of it, that may have even already had a title, but deserves much better in their next run.
Dana Brooke.
oh look at she's boning Batista.
No, Batista's boning Dana Brooke. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he likes to get boned. Peg.
I want to
He's
see
Al Bundy. He take Peg. I almost made Nick spit his water out.
You okay there, buddy?
I'm good.
That would have been all over you as well. See, that would have been so all over you.
I don't know. I want to see Aleister Black with the title.
Okay.
I don't want to see him with a world title. Not yet. It just doesn't make sense. Right
So you want to see him with that United States belt?
That or even the IC belt. I mean,
Well, he's
very
Raw right
very
now.
plausible. He switches brand. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
okay.
Like throughout the
But
year.
that's yeah.
But by year's end, I'd like to see him holding or at least have held a mid-card championship. Maybe even like a tag championship. But he's got the type of character where it's hard to like match him with other people.
And that's what Ricochet when he first came up.
Yeah, but I never like looked at them as a legit tag team. Like I looked at them as two great mid-carders that could have a nice run as a tag team, but they were too much of individuals to ever be like a true tag team. If that makes sense.
But didn't they just really? Aren't they still recently doing that with Bobby Roode and fucking Dolph Ziggler?
Yeah, but they have like
Rude's out for
closer
30 days because he likes to break PD protocols.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah, he's suspended for 30
Yeah,
days. Him
30
and
days.
Epico. I don't know how Epico got suspended. Oh, no, I do know how Epico got suspended. Epico got suspended because he was asked to fly to take the drug test, and he was like, "Are you using me on TV?" And they were like, "Well, no, we don't have anything for you in the foreseeable future." He goes, "So I just won't fly and spend my money to get drug tested when you're not going to use me for 30 days anyway, so I'll take a 30-day PED suspension rather than spend my money." And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I don't even care if you are using PEDs. That's so smart to do.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Like, why would I blow my money for you to come test me?
Yeah, if you're not going to use me on TV, you know he's
If
got.
I'm not going to be there 30 days anyway.
Wait, hold on. I get drug tested. I'm not used on TV. Get the fuck out of here.
It's like saying I'm getting drug tested not to work, pretty much. Outside of what? He's all Carlos is doing the house shows right now, right?
Yeah. So Z, back to Aleister Black. How do you want to see him take a title? When do you think he deserves that moment? Is it a Mania moment? Is it something down the line?
I mean, it's one of those things where it depends how they build him. Right now,
I want to know
right,
how
right
you
now,
want to build him.
It'd take me like a year to get him where I want him to be. But
Okay, so build it.
you just have him go on a tear. Like he defeated Buddy Murphy in the last pay-per-view of the year. So you have him have a good showing in the Royal Rumble. Maybe even have him eliminate the Intercontinental Champion. Not to necessarily set up a feud immediately after, but to plant seeds for one like later down the line. Then you just have him go on a nice little run, like not jobbers either, like established talent, not like local talent, like actual like talent, and have him have another feud with Buddy Murphy down the road. Have them put on a couple more matches, maybe have them work together now, elevate them somehow, eventually leading to like a. Probably a TLC next year. So this time next year, he wins a ladder match, presumably against, say, Buddy Murphy for the IC title or the whatever one's on
whatever
Raw.
mid card that he's on.
Yeah,
Okay.
whatever
So you
one's on
say
Raw.
Buddy Murphy will probably have the title by then?
Possibly. I mean, the thing about it is they're doing what they did with that match at TLC is they're kind of building their mid card. They're like, hey guys, this is our mid card.
Yeah.
Well, these are at least two of the people in our mid card. Which shows that it's got, possibilities there. So yeah, I would like to see him hold the title. I'd like to see the Street Profits hold the title too, but I just don't see that being a reality this year with the teams that are already in place.
With 2020, I can see them, but I don't want it to happen too soon because I feel like you'll be backing them into the corner like you did American Alpha.
The one thing I want WWE to do, 100%, is give all their title holders longer reigns, so it's special when they lose it.
Especially the tag titles.
Yeah, those two.
Reestablish your tag division. You got so much talent just sitting away, doing nothing. Like you said, Epico
are though.
Epico Colon said, if I'm not going to be used, he took a 30-day PED suspension.
Yeah.
He's not on TV. He's not getting paid either way you look at it. So what's
I know,
the
but
difference?
that's what I'm saying. Like, you have so much talent within that company that's just sitting and catering.
That shouldn't even be an option for me to say, all right, yeah, write me up.
You gotta prove my point here. Like, that tag, when it comes to the tag
Yeah, he
division.
was agreeing with you.
Yeah.
Although if you don't take it, if they need you for TV, like let's say something happens and a spot opens up for him in 2 weeks.
You fucked yourself.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it's always.
I think that WWE needs to reestablish their shows in a way that you care about the majority of it. So, taking in all of the accounts of everything that everyone said, you know, Drew McIntyre going and becoming your, WWE champion, establishing a mid-card that is stronger, that makes you care about the other hours of the show, getting Aleister Black a championship at least by the end of the year in a singles run. I would like to see WWE take NXT out of Full Sail. Not into the arenas that SmackDown and Raw go to. I don't need that. You can take them out of a 500-seat Full Sail arena into a 1,500-seat place. It'll make it feel bigger. It will not make it feel it won't make it feel small or anything like that, because you're not going too much bigger, but you're still keeping it intimate. It won't make it feel like it's losing its intimacy, is what I was trying to say. But it will travel around, and you will get that exposure and more. Because right now, AEW, the thing that they have is travel. It sucks that they're trying to fill pay-per-view size arenas, every fucking week. You can't do that. WWE can't do that. I don't know why you think you can. Stop it.
WWE, NXT could.
I don't think NXT could sell out 10,000 seat arenas every fucking week.
Yeah, but they could do travel to Royal Oak Music Theater.
But that's
and
what I'm
shit
saying.
like that.
That's what I'm saying.
He was just saying smaller venues.
I want them to leave. I want them to go into like 1,500, 2,000 seat arenas, because I know they would sell them every week. I know that. It would feel bigger, but still have the intimacy of it. The problem with AEW is the reason they're getting so much shit is because everyone's taking photos of these empty seats, and it's like, oh, look at AEW. No, it's not AEW's fault, man. Other than the fact that they're trying to do 10,000
and some
seat.
assholes get there early and take a picture of the empty arena and then send it on. It's like, all right, bro.
No, there's been photos of ones where there's the ring is being wrestling in the ring.
When I film it dark or something like that.
Not even dark, because dark's after AEW. I'm talking like during a Dynamite match. But anyway, back to what I'm saying. I want to see NXT go on the road every week, a live show in front of 2 times bigger crowds than what they're seeing, at least 2 times. I think that will do better. Think of like the Raws when Raw first started, right? Selling out things, right? But still smaller crowds. I think AEW tried to jump too far into it, and that's what's kind of killing them, because they're getting a lot of the flack that WWE was catching every time a SmackDown half side wasn't filled up, right?
Yeah, but AEW has the ability to correct that, because a lot of their shows aren't even, like, they're only like through January. So like coming in February, if attendance is still low, they can adjust and be like, oh, we'll get the smaller venue.
They're booked all the way through February right now.
That's not, again, guys, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm giving you what I want to see happen in the future with WWE. That's what I'm talking about right now. So I'm choosing the NXT brand of it. And I feel that if NXT goes forward like that, it will do nothing but then fucking give the Raw and SmackDown writers, creative, more fuel to their fires, because now they're seeing NXT go places, and they're not just, oh, it's the Full Sail, that's their crowd. Of course they're going to be popping like that. If NXT starts going on the road and they're starting to do things that everyone's like, man, why didn't SmackDown do this? And then Fox sees that, I think it can only build up Raw and SmackDown, make those better by the end of 2020. I think NXT is your roots. It started as developmental. It's now a main brand. It deserves its own road as well. but that road can only do better to help flourish the shows that are above it.
I agree, because I sit there and I watch, especially with this week, NXT was great. More often than not, it's great. And I'm like, okay, let's look at these ratings. 700,000, 800,000, all under 1 million. I'm like, man, like I want more people to watch. So then they see this, then they might be interested in Raw, SmackDown, watching AEW, getting back into just pro wrestling, because the product that they're putting on is top notch above almost anything else that's out there right now. So when you got a hot crowd at Full Sail, but your theory of putting them in these smaller arenas from city to city to show the hot crowds, they're selling out these smaller places. So then a couple times a year when they put them in a big arena, that creates more urgency, and you will sell those arenas out because people
they
are
do.
Yeah, they're already selling out those arenas right now, because the Raw style arena, where Raw goes, is where the NXT takeovers happen, and all of them are always sold out for that. I agree with
So here's the thing about that theory. There are guys that are in NXT that have admitted they like being in NXT because of the Full Sail thing, and they don't have to travel as much. What about the inconvenience of those superstars?
Everything evolves, dude.
You signed a contract. If we want you to travel, you travel. If you don't travel, you're not on TV. It's a real simple concept.
And at the same time, I'm not talking about the road schedule that Raw and SmackDown have. I'm not saying stay on the road 5 days a week.
Yeah, because they wouldn't do live events. They would just do a live show.
Yep.
Yeah,
so
they
they'd
would
be in
travel
Florida
somewhere
most of
else
the
to
week and
go.
then be like AEW, basically.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying go to a travel schedule that Raw and SmackDown rosters have. They don't need that right now. They're not big enough to do that right now. They'll lose more money doing stuff like that than they will making money. Traveling to a city the day before or the day of to do. I prefer the day before, so you can sleep.
So you don't have that London.
Fly
thing,
out Tuesday night and do fucking NXT on Wednesday, and then go back home, and then every couple of weeks have that weekend where you do go travel. And you do a couple live events, just like they're doing now. I'm just saying, instead of sitting at Full Sail every week, go somewhere else. I don't need 4 or 5 days of travel. I just said go somewhere, because then, like you said, Nick, you're getting 700,000, 800,000. You're getting $1 million the first couple weeks. If you go places and more places see, oh, there's a wrestling event going on right now, right? Then there's people who are like, oh, that's a WWE type brand. I'm going to go check that out. Oh, it's in a smaller arena, so the tickets are also cheaper.
I'll be closer.
Yeah.
To Smitty's point, though, a lot of those wrestlers, they would be like, if you want us to do this, we want more money. Like, you want us to travel. Like, right now, they don't travel. So
they do-ish. They don't.
Yeah,
they don't
to an
travel
extent,
weekly,
they do live events. Well, the ones that aren't like focused on TV do the live events, and they do travel for like takeovers and shit like that. But the travel is nowhere near what the travel is on Raw or SmackDown. That's why when you get promoted to the main roster, you get a raise because you got to cover all your fucking travel.
Right.
So if you want me to travel, I want more money.
But again, that's what you negotiate in your next contract. Well, now we're doing
Or
this
this current
more
one
money.
because this is a stipulation that probably wasn't even in the contract. You know what I mean?
I highly doubt that. I think the WWE thinks of the long run no matter what. The wrestler that I would like to see have a major title opportunity that I feel has been kind of gone to the wayside is I actually want to see Shinsuke do something real. Shinsuke right now has just been
Fucking placeholder.
not even a placeholder. I wish he was a placeholder. He'd be better. He's been there for Sammy to get his fucking mic time in, basically. Like, there's no difference of Sammy holding this title belt than Shinsuke holding this title belt. It's not even like at least when other wrestlers had managers, right? Those managers weren't so prominent there. Like Bobby the Brain Heenan, when he was your manager, he got you over, right? And he made those matches matter. Sammy, you're just like, dude, you could just wrestle this match. Like you,
But he can't.
Why can't he?
He's hurt.
He's not hurt right now.
He is.
He is?
Yeah, that's why they have him doing commentary. He's out for like a year. Some with his shoulder.
Again?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's why they gave him the manager role.
But then even still, that sucks because it's still a guy that you'd rather see holding the title than Shinsuke.
Right, but
So it's not doing any favors.
You're not
going to
wrestle for a year. I mean, just like they did with Samoa Joe on commentary. You're going to be out for 6 months, and you're actually pretty good at this, so why don't you take a seat?
And again, but at least Samoa Joe on commentary, you're not like, man, I wish you were just wrestling this match. They have made me care so little about Shinsuke when I used to love him. I honestly, man, fucking throw him back to NXT and have him take off that North American Championship.
So, like,
Yeah.
you feel like
I was thinking that too, do the Finn thing with Shinsuke, because Shinsuke, just like Finn's career, seemed to have suffered ever since they came up the main roster.
I think Finn suffered
Roode
once he got
back
the
there
injury.
too. Fuck it.
We're PEDs.
Yeah, whatever.
What are you going to say, Smitty?
I was like, you just pretty much reiterated Joe's thing about lots of guys that come from different places. Like, WWE has made a habit of making you not care about somebody that you cared about when they first got there.
Yeah, I never denied Joe on that one. It happens sometimes. You know, I just think that Shinsuke is the one that's been destroyed more than anybody. It's mainly because you still see him almost every week, and almost every week you're going, God, man, just give me something better with Shinsuke. At least with other guys, they're not on TV, right? When Luke Harper was gone, the only reason you knew about Luke Harper's contract is because the one time he didn't tweet, "It's Tuesday," you know what that means, was, hey, I want to be gone, right? Mm-hmm. These guys are at least not on TV for me to go, man, this is what they're doing with you. Shinsuke
And then they
has
bring
a belt.
Luke Harper back just to release him.
Yeah. Shinsuke has a belt that nothing is being done with, and it sucks. I want to see something happen with Shinsuke.
They changed the title, and it's like, cool.
Yeah.
It seems like they're about to stick him with Cesaro.
Hashtag not my IC title.
Smitty, what has been... Let's go back to the past of 2019 now. Oh, you had a point. I'm sorry. I just cut you off.
I was like, it seemed like they're about to put Shinsuke with Cesaro in a tag match in the tag division right now too.
You don't say.
Right? And Sheamus vignettes too. Actually, I'll start with Z with this one. Z, going back to 2019, what is the brand that you felt had the best showing overall in professional wrestling? And it could even be New Japan or Ring of Honor. Haven't even really spoke about them.
NXT. NXT is your superior product to both Raw and SmackDown. I mean, NXT is kicking AEW's ass in the ratings right now. I mean, that's not how it was at first, but take away the shine of a show, and they're taking off. They have the most talent. They're the most interesting to watch. They're personally my favorite brand. I love going to their live events when they come to the Royal Oak Music Theater and being that close. So yeah, NXT for me is the best thing in wrestling right now.
Nick, for you, what is the best brand for 2019?
Well, I don't want to, completely agree just so we can have a different opinion, but I can't help but agree with that.
Yeah, suck my dick too, Nick. That's how you are.
How's it taste, motherfucker?
It really is. I mean, when you're talking on a weekly basis, just that show, more often than not, every match is a good to great match.
Yeah.
Once in a while, you have a match, you go, okay, that's all right, or
But normally, when it's like an iffy match, it's like somebody new that's like debuting or something.
Sure, exactly.
When it's some people that have been around, like the same group of people, it's never a bad match.
And their pay-per-views are always always a hard A.
Yeah. Maybe like one A-, but
so I definitely would say NXT with NWA close second.
Smitty.
I'm on a different note, and that's because I'm an Impact marker right now. This is over the last 2 years.
And you think overall in 2019 Impact was better?
Yeah, because that's one of the places that they focus on. This is a personal preference. They focus on the mid card, and every title actually is important. And I said they built good storylines.
Says they're one fan, Smitty.
It's really good. It really is really good.
And it is they built stories even if they don't have titles involved. They do have the goofy dark universe that was kind of started with the Matt Hardy thing a couple years ago with the Broken Universe, and they developed the whole dark universe from there as well. Right now, I'm not too into the dark universe, but it's still something that's still entertaining, and it reminds me. And they also have characters that remind me that wrestling could just be fun. You don't have to take it seriously all the time. Like, you got the guys like Joey Ryan over there, which we all know Joey Ryan is nothing more than his gimmick. But it was a reminder that wrestling could just be fun and goofy.
All right.
And the match quality is fucking
Is that
phenomenal.
because you're fun and goofy?
And then the match quality
You
over
can
there,
relate.
like all the match quality has always been good at Impact for the most part. Like Daga they had Daga versus TJP on this week's episode, and those guys fucking tore it up.
You mentioned that in the chat. That was really good.
So you're talking. So Impact is your number one for the year of 2019.
Yes.
Not to beat a dead horse, I honestly think it's NXT as well. When you're putting on some of the best matches in wrestling, you're right. It's really difficult to beat them.
Yeah.
So
there's also easier access to it too.
That's fine. It doesn't change the fact that the product that they're putting out, I think, is even. I watch Impact. I watch it weekly. I still think NXT is the better show every week. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just if I have to rank it, NXT's one for the most part. NXT's one, and Impact would be under it. Now I want to go into who you feel was the MVP of 2019 in professional wrestling. And I'll start this one so you guys can take your time and think about it. But I truly feel the MVP of professional wrestling in 2019 is Chris Jericho. He sparked interest into a new company. He has created catchphrases just by speaking a line.
He's always done that.
He is putting over other talent in AEW.
I meant to bring that up. He put over
Yeah.
Jungle Boy.
Putting over
And
Jungle
Darby
Boy,
Allin.
but even going into the back, holding team meetings, saying, "Hey, we need to fix this. If we, I was a part of something that went to shit because it was all becoming stupid." Chris Jericho is my MVP of 2019. I think that it was the smartest idea in the world putting that belt on him. I think as a champion, as Le Champion, he has been spectacular on the microphone and in the ring. His best matches of his career? No, but good matches for the fucking him? Yeah. There's no restrictions. He's doing well. Everything's looking good. I think without Chris Jericho, AEW wouldn't even be a turd in the bucket.
Yep. I agree with that.
And I can't say that about any other company. Sami Callihan's running Impact right now. Impact would be going without Sami Callihan. Now, granted, AEW is just starting, but I think if you, especially with Moxley getting that elbow injury and going away for a little bit, it had to be Jericho was your only name. And Jericho has done amazing. So for me, the 2019 MVP of professional wrestling is Chris Jericho. Smitty.
I'm still thinking because
I'll go.
All right, Z.
Mine is also Chris Jericho, but so I'm going to go to my number 2.
Okay.
My number 2 would be Adam Cole.
All right.
Adam Cole. Not that he was like the flag bearer, but ever since he's taken that NXT championship, it seemed to mean more. Mm-hmm. And with this recent run he's on, he's got to be the superstar of the year just for the path from October till now. Mm-hmm. But he's held that title. He's represented the brand really well. I mean, he made a prophecy. It came true. So Adam Cole would be my MVP for 2019.
All right. Smitty, still thinking?
You two both took my fucking answers.
So go to your number 3.
Damn.
Rhea Ripley.
Damn. I was going to go with a woman just to kind of switch it up a little bit.
Nyla Rose.
That's like Smitty.
Were you going to go with Nyla Rose? Just a little bit. We're switching it up.
Brandy Rhodes, no.
Oh, I was going to say Cody. But
Brandy Rose is a cringy Stephanie McMahon.
You saying Cody?
Yeah.
Cody's your pick?
I'll say Cody.
Why?
Cody's over this year. He's proven he has his dad's mind for the business. He's done even though you talk about the whole Butcher Blade and Bunny from this week, but he's done a pretty good job of getting some of this younger, unknown talent, getting their names out there. Like, you didn't know who the Butcher Blade and the Bunny were until this whole guys like MJF.
Still don't know who the hell they are.
Allie's the Bunny. But he's done a good job with recruiting and showcasing talent. He's got his dad's mind for the business in general, and he's also got it. He's probably been the most over he's ever been in his entire career at this point.
All right, Nick.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go with a woman here and say I would say Rhea Ripley, because in a short amount of time, just this year, she has gone from somebody who's relatively unknown to making herself one of the most over females in all of pro wrestling. And she took down one of the juggernauts of the women's division in all of pro wrestling, especially just considering WWE. And I think she's taken off, and it's not going to be. She's not overdone. I think she has a really likable character. She doesn't have this massive ego. She's not a super soft, fuzzy teddy bear face. So for the women's division, I would go with Rhea Ripley.
Okay.
I'm glad she doesn't have a teddy bear face.
She's adorable.
Her fuzzy face.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's how we're going to wrap up our 2019.
I was going to ask a question. Do anybody think we have a breakout 2020? Anybody from the industry?
Dana Brooke.
Is anybody? Or
that was kind of the whole point of putting things forward and stuff, Smitty, when I was asking all that. That's
who do you want to hold the title? Who do you think?
No, you didn't go titles. You went with mid card. You went a whole mid card.
Oh yeah, because
which would have been a perfect spot for I don't know, a breakout superstar.
You did, and you mentioned a couple people.
Yeah,
it's been mentioned. We're already towing this, Smitty.
Welcome to the show.
Is there anybody specifically you want to see break out in 2020?
Anybody what?
Specifically.
You said specifically.
You said
fucking oceaneer, oceanographer. You're a fucking nerd.
I'm asking you. Anybody specifically you would like to see break out in 2020?
Anybody specifically that I would like to see break out in 2020?
Somebody who hasn't had the best 2018, 2019, or...
I can't say anything specific. I would, because I don't think that there's anyone specific that I feel that has been held back that is more important than maybe a division. I was really on board with you with the mid-card thing. I believe that if WWE sets up their mid-card better, their shows will be better. I also feel if the WWE for the Raw and SmackDown tag divisions are set up better.
But that's part of your mid-card division, technically.
It's the tag division. I think if those divisions are set up better, you care more about the entire show overall. I think that everyone I wanted to see get somewhat established in 2019 did, and sometimes it took going back to NXT, like Finn. Currently there's been rumors about Ronda Rousey coming back. And there's rumors about Shayna Baszler going to a Raw or SmackDown. So if there's anything I'd actually finally like to see, I would love to finally see the 4 Horsewomen match at Survivor Series. I think that is something that because we've seen it. Becky and Charlotte right now aren't best friends, but they're coming together. They came together for a match, right? So if I could see those 4 girls not be best friends, but come together for the good of a match to fuck this other stable up or lose.
That means over the next year.
That's fine, but that's
the 2 girls that follow
Jessamine Duke and Brenda Shafir.
They're gonna have to learn how to fucking wrestle.
But again, if there's anything that I definitely want to see happen, it's something that's been teased for fucking years. That is the only thing that I can think of that I've wanted to see that I haven't been able to see.
We don't want to see pregnant Ronda versus pregnant Maria. No, that doesn't interest anybody.
Fetus on a pole match.
Winner gets to have birth right then and there.
Fetus on a pole match.
All right,
Fetus.
Russo.
Jesus Christ.
They have Viagra on the pole.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to close out. We're going to have a nice early show.
We're going to end our 2019 with a fetus on the pole.
Exactly how we're doing it.
Hey, have you listened to us?
Yeah. We are the most inappropriate pro wrestling show.
I have.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening. Make sure you go to breakingdownthering.com. You can check all of our social media on there. You can get yourself some of our beautiful gear. Make sure that you guys are following us on all of our social media at BDRcast. And we hope you have a great Christmas, a great Hanukkah, wonderful Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate. And we hope that the year 2020 gets you all of the things that you've wanted. We are going to be on break until the first Sunday in 2020. We are your ring crew.
I'm Smitty.
Your new ring crew champion, Nick the Gimp.
Z.
And me, the almighty one, Mikey himself. We are